Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and finally the new iOS 26.3 has been released to the public. Now in today's video we're taking a look at this update and we're talking about some settings. We have some new settings and some older settings to talk about, which I believe you must change immediately on your device on iOS 26.3. Now another thing you should do is hit the subscribe button, because most of you guys that watch my videos are still not subscribed to the channel. So if you enjoy the videos and you find them helpful, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. Now, first of all, let's talk about updates. If you have been running any of the betas of iOS 26.3 and you have now updated, you want to turn off those betas if you don't want to continue updating to new betas of iOS 26. Now, most likely there will be a beta for iOS 26.4 in a couple of weeks. So if you just don't want to continue with the betas, go ahead and turn off the betas from here. And also make sure that you turn on automatic updates, because in the meantime, until iOS 26.4 gets released to the public, which will take probably another couple of months, there will be smaller updates, most likely 26.3.1. So you want to make sure you install those updates on your device. So just enable automatic install right here. Now there is also a newer setting on iOS 26 that a lot of people don't know about, but it's very important for you to turn on. You can find it under privacy and security. So right here under privacy and security, if you scroll all the way down, you will find something called background security improvements. You go here and make sure you have enabled automatic install. So you can see right here, background security improvements will basically provide additional protections for your device in between updates. These are updates that are installed automatically on your device. These are security improvements and not iOS updates. So make sure you have this enabled. There is another setting that you can change on iOS, but not for every user. Now this is new with iOS 26.3 and can be found under the seller data settings. Now basically this is a new setting that will be limited to a few carriers and a few countries. Hopefully will be expanding really soon to other users as well, but it's called limit precise location, and it allows you to limit the ability of the carrier to know your precise location, so they can know just the area you're in and not your precise location. Now you need to go to your settings, go to seller, and then go to seller data options, and right there you will have, under the sims, you will have basically the ability to just turn on basically limit precise location, which will turn off the ability for the carrier to know your precise location. Now, if you're on iOS 26.3 and you live in EU, you will have another setting that you can change, and it will be right here under notifications. Just under screen sharing, you will have the ability to now enable notifications forwarding. Now, this was a feature that was introduced for everyone on beta 1, but then it has been removed and now it's just for EU. And if you have like a third party like watch, not an Apple Watch but a different one, and you have it connected to your iPhone, with your iPhone running iOS 26.3, then you will get that setting right here, and you can enable notifications forwarding, so you can now forward notifications from your iPhone to that other device. Now there are other settings that you need to change on iOS 26.3 if you haven't already, and here are a few of those that I think are very important for your battery, your privacy, and all that stuff. So first of all, we're talking about the display. So head on to display and brightness. And then right here, you will have the always on display. Now, I suggest you do here a few configurations. First of all, if you don't really need the always on display, just turn it off completely, because it will drain the battery of your iPhone. It has an impact on battery. And then you will have right here a few other options. Now, what I suggest you do, if you have the always on display enabled, then enable also blur the photo. Now, what it does is that it will blur the wallpaper photo when the device is on the always on display, so it doesn't just display it all the time. Of course, way better for your privacy. Moving on to the camera settings, we also have here like a newer setting on iOS 26. And now let's move on to the camera settings. We have also here a newer setting that has been added with iOS 26. So when you go here, you will have now the ability to actually disable lock screen swipe to open camera. Now on the lock screen, you will have a button to open the camera, but also the swipe from the right to the left to open the camera. And that swipe most of the times will happen by accident, and you're launching the camera there, sometimes maybe even taking a picture or a video by accident. But what's really important here is that you're just consuming a ton of battery. So if you find yourself doing that a lot of times by accident, make sure you go ahead and turn it off from here. Another thing I would do when it comes to the lock screen is turn off the spatial wallpaper effect. Now that is a cool thing that has been added with iOS 26. It is good, it looks cool, but it will consume battery. Everything that has basically to animate and it's moving all the time will consume a ton of battery. Even though iOS 26.3 is actually quite good when it comes to battery, I think turning this off will also make a huge difference. Next up, let's talk about screenshots. So on iOS 26, you probably know that we have a dedicated section for screenshots. So just right here under the general settings, you will have screen capture, and you will also have the format right here. So you will have HDR and SDR, which is most compatible. And if you're using the screenshots most of the time on your iPhone and you don't really need to have really high quality screenshots, then go ahead and just move to SDR. The HDR one will take a ton of space on your iPhone, and if you're taking a ton of screenshots, you will notice that the screenshots that you have on your iPhone will take a lot of space because they will be like 7, 8, sometimes even more megabytes in size, while the SDR ones will be at around 1 to 2 megabytes, which is of course way less. Moving on to the battery settings, which are of course very important, and we have right here power mode. So when you go to power mode, you will have here adaptive mode. Now with adaptive mode, you will be able to have this new mode for your battery, which will basically adapt the battery usage on your iPhone. When it's higher than usual, it will basically just adapt your iPhone and the way it uses the battery to extend the battery life of your iPhone, which is really awesome. Now underneath it, you will also have the ability to turn on adaptive power notifications, so you're notified every time adaptive power starts working on your iPhone. And for the last two settings, we're moving under the phone app, but I suggest you do this for the phone app, FaceTime, and iMessage as well. So we have screen unknown callers. I suggest you use right here ask reason for calling. Calls from unsaved numbers will be asked for more information before your iPhone will ring, which is really awesome. And then you will also have a second setting right here called filtering. Basically, missed calls and voicemails from unknown numbers will be moved to the unknown calls list. So you will basically have a filter there for all your calls, which is really awesome. So that's basically for this video, guys. These are a few different settings that I believe you must change on your new iOS 26.3 device. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next one.